Good, check. Remember, we're checking for clock first, then possession arrow, and hopefully everything's going smooth. Right away, Maurice. Check your, Maurice, T position. Maurice. Maurice. Maurice, this is where you were standing as your tee.
My tee? Okay.
You're way too far on the floor. You need to be way over here, way over here. Even further, even further. Somewhere between the white and the black. I'm gonna move this bag, okay? I'm just gonna put it down here. Just so you know, I didn't steal it. Oh, we got a timeout right away. Holy crap. First 2 minutes, we got a timeout. So coach obviously is not liking what he's seeing. All right, so what I just noticed there, and I'm not saying we needed to call that, but what my ears and eyes just saw was number 33 for White was using his elbow and his arm to bully his way towards the rim. So now my antennas are going to go up, whether I was the lead on that play or whether I was a center or whether I was trail. If I notice that, I'm thinking, okay, 33 White, 33 White, we're going to watch for him. We're probably going to end up having an offensive foul. Based on his actions that we just saw. Is it possible that you guys can slide just a little forward? You're almost on the floor. Thank you. That's good there. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Yep. Right where you're standing, Maurice, is the perfect spot to be standing. That's kind of what I've been trying to teach you. Is if you look on the film here watching me, I'm one step on the floor, and I'm at my 28-foot mark, which is obviously down there. But this is the space I want you to be off of the sideline, is 3 feet. Maurice, I don't know if you mirrored the chop in. I wasn't paying attention. I don't think you did, but I could be wrong. But remember, throw in on the end line, leads obviously administering, he's chopping, he or she, official chopping. And our trail is mirroring and also chopping. Kind of take a look at Nick's position right now. That's pretty much what I'm talking about. Somewhere between this black line and the white line. Right there is where you are, Nick. That's perfect. And then, yep, step down where needed. Count it. All right, Nick, you want me to pick on you, huh? All right, I'll pick on you, huh? So, from time to time, and you see a official when they mark their three-pointer, or actually I should say, not mark their three-pointer, but show they've just made the three-point signal, right? A lot of times what you end up seeing is the gentleman with palms forward, right? So I got like a make. What I like to think of it as is you just got arrested, put your hands on the wall. That is not the signal for a made three-point basket. It's supposed to be like football. Made basket, my palms are facing each other, so to speak. So if I can see it on my film, like that, right? Very tic-tac, right? And a lot of people don't care, but if you take and say, okay, I'm considering using this official for higher playoff game, state, whatever, they might say, hey, this official is not using proper mechanics. Now, is the WIA really going to really get that nitpicky? Probably not. But if we're always striving to be better, we can now reference the mechanics manual and say, am I following what the mechanics manual says? And I'm going to throw this at you, that there are many veteran officials, veteran officials, prestigious officials, that technically do that signal incorrectly. So again, this is a super nitpick thing. I follow the mechanics manual like that. So take it as you wish. So thinking about position, Maurice, your seat position is great, right? You're a step inward on the floor, your free throw line extended, right where you're supposed to be. That's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to enforce good things as well, and obviously correct maybe some things that need correction. But this one, keep staying right where you are is perfect. Gavin. Work it, Gavin. All right, score is currently 16 to 12. White team is winning, and 9 minutes left in the first half. Right, you guys are looking more well-oiled than the first two games, for that matter. So I'm liking it. All right, Nick. This one is something you may have heard before, you may not have, but I just saw your rotation as lead here on this end of the floor, and when you're rotating, you weren't watching in the lane from where you were leaving from. So the point being is that if there's a screen that happens in the block that you're leaving from, and you're walking away from it, and you don't even have eyes on it, then that potential illegal screen or whatever might have happened will be unobserved. So it's a very tough thing to do, is to remember to watch where I'm coming from versus watching where I'm going. Back this way, further towards the sideline. There you go. Yep, that's the spot right there. That space off the sideline is where you got to be. That right there play, nothing really happened, but it's a good play to talk about from a mechanics and or communication perspective, right? So let's just say the ball finds its way into the backcourt, and offense might go and obviously they're going to try to reobtain that ball. And I'm the trail official at this moment, and I'm thinking I might have the answer, I might not have the answer of who was the last to touch it when it left the front court. So let's just pretend as if now I change hats and now I'm going to be the center official. If I know that the defense has touched it, I'm going to be using a touch signal. I don't know what happened on that play. You know, it might have been cut and dry, but I mean, we could talk or theorize about things. They definitely happen in maybe every other game, maybe, where we might have to use that signal. Nick, that was great position adjusting as a trail. A lot of things we kind of overlook or we think, you know, don't really think about, but if I can look at the back of the ball handler in front of me and I can see his number square as day, that means I'm straight lined. So it's really good, and I took note of that, the fact that you position adjusted to find the gap in between the offensive player and the defensive player. So you can see in there and see if a slap has occurred or a fumbled ball or a what, you know. The other technique I'm going to mention on here, I don't know if we've had it yet. We probably have, but I like, a lot of people call it pre-pass position adjustment. Pre-pass position adjustment, pre-pass position adjustment, pre-pass position adjustment. Keep saying it to yourself 5 times over. What that means is that if I'm, let's just say I'm center or trail, and most likely the player or players in front of me are going to be receiving a pass, I'm probably going to recognize that before the pass even occurs. And when that pass is in the air, I'm already adjusting so that when they actually receive the ball and the defender comes out and swats at them, let's say for example, that I can already see in that gap versus what else you might see is people who haven't pre-pass position adjusted is, okay, they receive the pass, the swat happens, and then I'm like, oh crap, and then you got to get around the corner and adjust afterwards. Now I'm already too late. So it's kind of more of an advanced technique, but it's very powerful, and it takes a lot of practice. But once you master that, your game is gonna unfold a lot, and it's gonna be a lot better and a lot stronger and a lot more accurate. Okay, I like that, Josh. There's a real subtle thing that happened there. Most people wouldn't even consider looking at. Important thing is the ball went out of bounds, right? You went up with your right hand, maybe instinctually or on purpose or whatever, or maybe just right-handed. But what I'm trying to get at is, okay, you went up with your right hand. It's going to be a black ball anyways, right? So the ball goes out of bounds, it's going to be a black ball. I use my right hand to come up with it, and I continue to then point with that hand. What you at times will see, and you don't even, a lot of people don't even recognize this, but if I go up with my right hand and then point and then bring that down and then point with the other hand, it now looks like I'm a traffic cop, right? Boop, boop, beep, boop. Again, super tic-tac, but knowing that if you try to just stick with the hand, this is the hand I put up, is the hand I'm going to point with, then you learn to put up the correct hand based on whose ball it's going to be. That makes sense, or which direction we're going at least. Again, highly advanced that type thing, and it's conscious knowledge of which hand should I use and how do I present it, because it looks very, very professional. And then that very high professionalism goes a long way in maybe coaches aren't going to give you as much grief, or fans aren't going to give you as much grief because it looks stronger. It looks more, I don't know, if I get the right words. It looks more confident. So let's talk about that position where you're standing at right now, Maurice. I'd like to see you further back. Take your shoulders are angled correctly at a 45-degree angle to lane, whatever. But then if you take one step backwards, that would actually put you a little further off the end line and a little further away from the side lane line. That actually gives you a better angle to see rebounding fouls. It's crazy. The wider you get, the easier it is to see rebounding fouls. Second part of that is when you're administering the okay, we got 2 shots, here's the ball kind of thing, or we got 1 shot, here's the ball. Get yourself into the lane. Make sure that eyes are on you. It's not, again, this is not all about us, but they need to hear what I am saying in this scenario. We got 1 shot, here's the ball, now I walk out, versus I'm just going to throw it from way over here in the corner. I don't know, there's an appearance factor there that, again, looks very professional when you get into the lane. Doing well. Ooh, good steal. What's going on?
Oh, I got a bad headache.
Uh-oh.
Whistles.
Too many whistles.
Whistles. Whiskey don't give me a hangover. Oh, shit.
What do you guys got? I mean, I wasn't really paying much attention to the flow of the game, so you guys are paying attention to that. I was more so paying attention to mechanics
I'm
and
just
stuff.
trying to be more mindful of my tee. That's what I'm being more mindful of.
Yep. It's gonna take practice.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like that, you know.
See, I'm so with the 2-man. That's why I think I'd be on top of it more so. See, with the 3-man, that's
correct. Yep.
I was a little quick on a couple of my rotations.
During live ball action, you're talking?
I probably should have just sat there
on a couple of those and let everything settle.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's like, well, I got a post and the ball's below free throw length, then I should probably get my ass over there.
Yeah.
On
It
this
turns
end,
out they just swung it the other way anyway. But
Right.
on this end, how was my rotation on the baseline? Transition. I know that I'm talking about on this one. I know I was messing them down on this one.
Oh, on that one?
Yeah.
Well, there was one down here where I'm like, oh shit, he's on my side. But that one I was
That means you're rotating, right? Yeah.
That one I was kind of expecting. That last one.
I like to come into games and we come to halftime and my partner's like, man, you rotate a lot. That means I'm doing my job, right? Obviously we don't want to over-rotate, but rotate where when we need to be there. I actually learned something this weekend that I had never thought of. And so it just fits perfect about rotations, right? A lot of times we think, I need to rotate because I need to get to that play. But instead, if you change your mindset a little bit and you think, I should rotate because I will put our crew in a better position for that play. Makes you think of it completely differently. And now you start thinking, well, yeah, I should be getting there, I should be getting there, I should be getting there, because we need to get in the correct position for that play, or where the ball is, or whatever. Which is, right? You're like, wow, that's deep.
Got light coming in, going this way.
Getting tired?
Get extremely.
Yeah.
I need a nap. You gotta keep the air Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And a cold ice pack over my head.
Yep.
Sounds like right behind my eyes. Huh?
Sounds like you need to go to the lake. Go sit on the beach somewhere.
Oh, hell no. No. I need my air conditioner. Oh, man, is that hurt.
All right. Give her hell, guys. Give her hell. Good. Now that this game's done, I can make some room.
Yeah.
I think the games are all done here. I think it's done there. Are you guys playing here or are you done? Are you guys playing next or are you done?
I think we are, yeah. We played another game.
Oh, then I better put the chairs back.
White.
Oh. All right, reinforce that again. After we get done inbounding, clock start, yes. Did the arrow get switched correctly? Yes. And then we put our focus onto the court more. Oh, Maurice. Oh, what are we doing here? Maurice, you should be here. There you go. So Josh, you recognized it, that miss rotation, and that's fine, right? We miss rotate, or no, I shouldn't say rotate, miss switch sometimes, fine, right? If I'm supposed to be there, I'll come in and I'll kick out the person that wasn't supposed to be there. I'll say, hey, I'm supposed to be here, go on out, And I'm not going to be really mean about it, of course. I'll just kind of giggle and say, haha, gotcha, what are you doing? Whatever, make it a fun little kind of game or comment. Because again, we are on here to do a job, but we're also out here to have fun. Oh. So if we can have fun, joke with each other, make it a game, that's also a very important part of our crew. Oh. All right, that was 100% a travel. What I was hoping for is that, Josh, that you would have gotten that. So, again, this is a mental thing. We need to think, okay, he's going to make a drive, right? You kind of anticipate possibly making a drive. Then I'm going to look at his feet and pay attention to his feet. And if he does that shuffle step that he just did, then you get it, right? Maurice, that technically is... that was a correct call, right? You're looking straight down the line. Was it a big enough call or a big enough fish or whale that you could have went fishing in that pond? I would say no. If it's a crew saver, like, oh my God, that kid just got blasted in the face and my partner's missed it. That is a crew saver. Picking up a travel that many lines away from yourself, I think count the lane lines, right? That's just way too far to be reaching. So I know your eyes were already focused through that plane of space. That's just one I think you're going to have to swallow the whistle and say, hey, partner, you're missing some travels over here. We got to start getting them. Correct call. And I am okay with having two whistles on that because that was kind of up in the seam between both of you. Having two whistles on a play like that, you know what? It just shows that we are very confident in our call. We both confirmed each other. I think he actually got fouled on that three-point. That kid went up and smacked him right in the hand or right in the wrist. He didn't show a lot of anger or what, disagreement, but he did show some. That one wouldn't have been a bad one to get either. I think, now mind you, I'm in a different angle than what you are, Maurice, but I mean, that one wouldn't have been a bad one to go after either. Good, Nick. I like that. You went and got the ball, helped move the game along, helped move the play along, and helped your partner out while he's doing his thing. That was good. Rotate. We could have got a rotation there, I think. So if we could possibly anticipate that they're going to inbound it into that post, then I think we could have definitely squeezed out a rotation there. And that would have been a really good one because he got it and he made a post smooth. So if we can get there as that ball is finding its way to the post player, we can get a really good angle and we can find ourselves in a lot better position to make a call if there is one needed. That was a good call. And in fact, we just went over that exact type of play at the college level, and it was at a very, very high impactful point in time in the game. And a lot of people were not, maybe, I wouldn't say, we'll say the call was up for question, like, was that really 3 seconds or not? That is a perfect example of what 3 seconds is, and the fact that he didn't shoot it also helps reconfirm that it was a 3 second call, because if he passes the ball back out, he's already overspent his time in the lane. He's walking into him. Another thing to take note of for White 33 is on defense, he just kind of walks into the guy and kind of displaces him. There was a travel. See if he does it again. Nope. Okay, so something minor to talk about there is, that number 4 for White found his way to the floor. Did he trip? I don't know. Was he pushed? I don't know. What was it, And a good assigner of mine actually said to me one time, she goes, I need to have an answer every time a player hits the floor. If it was a foul, or was it a trip, or how did they find their way there? Because the coach will say, oh my God, he got pushed, or whatever. So we need to be able to answer that and say, yes, coach, I saw it. They tripped on their own behalf, or whatever. I mean, if it was a push, then we should have gotten a foul, right? So, and I've had games where players were hitting the floor left and right, and basically we said, we need to know every single time a player hits the floor how they got there. Or if we don't, then we're doing a crappy job. All right, we have a 7-point game. The black team is winning, the black jersey team. Shawano, I think it is, yep. It is now a 9-point game. 7 minutes left to go in the game. Fouls are 4 for Shawano and 0 for the home team for Kaukauna. Getting worn out? I did 3 games yesterday and I was like, oh my God, I'm so worn out. And they weren't even like back to back, kind of like what you guys are dealing with. They were more separated, so I actually had breaks, considerable breaks.
I want one little extended breaks like that. I be wanting to get mine in, get it out, in and out.
Yep.
I be doing like 10 games, 8 to 10 games, and like overtime, mess with Joe Chapman and them. See anything?
Nothing of really high importance. Obviously it's a JV game, so they're going to play different than the varsity team would. But that also gives us different things to pay attention to. I think 33 is probably the only player from a player personnel perspective. Like, what is he doing, 33 White? Because to start the game, he kind of went in with one of these.
But he's establishing himself, before he makes his move.
Yep.
That's why I give him a bit of that.
Yep.
Here we go, ready?
He's been pretty clean though, for the most part. All right, we got high pressure going on by Black. Oh, there we go. That's good timing. Good signals, good mechanics, good speed. Good adjustment. Good adjustments, Nick. I think the only thing I could even nitpick on that is, could you have posted longer before going with the charge call? I would say yes, because what if, and just throwing this out there, what if one of my other partners decided they wanted to put their arm up as well, and they might come out with something different, right? So I just have to play the what if game. All right, so Maurice, easy call, right? Yep, easy call, great. Take your time. It was pretty obvious where, but the important thing here, we knew where the ball was gonna go out. But if you could slow down and help and say, ball's gonna be here, white ball, sideline. You can even say this to yourself, white ball, sideline. Then the players know exactly how to start preparing for that next play. As partners, in that play, we could tell. But the important thing is we kind of practice and do that every time. If we do that, hold on. If we do that every time, then we're practicing what we preach every single time, and then we don't forget to do it. So Nick, I wasn't seeing what happened there. I'm assuming what you did is that maybe the players were jogging with each other a little bit or doing something.
You want me to? Where's your car? In the back?
I'm right out front.
In the back by Tom or in the front?
I'm in front.
what, because I can't stay long. I'm gonna try, back where the Riemer is. I'll set him right back down. I forgot about giving you real blast.
Yeah. So anyways, Nick, I'm sorry. What I'm assuming was that the players were probably, I don't know what they were doing. I'm assuming what you saw was maybe some extra holding, pre-play kind of stuff. Great. I mean, perfect. Get a whistle, get in there, jump in, show your presence, say, guys, knock it off, whatever you got to do. And that's perfect. That's what we want you to do. All right, so obviously we know one team's fouling more than the next. And the fouls are 7-1, right? And then we always hear the coaches, oh my God, it's 7-1, or some dad in the stands, it's 7 fouls to 1. Oh, whatever. So it's not like we're gonna just trying to go out and hunt for other fouls and try to even the score. It's not our gig. But we just need to be prepared for potentially more fouls by that same team, or just the random comments from whomever, and then start preparing ourselves for how am I going to respond to that feedback from somebody else. In this game, I think it's pretty cut and dry. We know why the fouls are 7-1. But just something to kind of consider as you go throughout, season games and throughout your season, and as you go forward. We've all been in situations like this, so just kind of something to consider and think about how to respond to that. All right, substitution timeout, great. Let's get the subs in and move on with life. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, a minute 25 left. We now have Shawano up by 17. So the game is kind of spread apart now. I think at this point we're in coast mode. Doesn't mean we let our guard down, because we could have some very disrespectful things happen in the last minute of the game because one team is winning and they're, who knows what. It could be like, hey, you're rubbing it in or whatever. And players start jacking with each other, exchanging comments, could do anything. Clapping in front of somebody's face. Looks like the players are getting pretty tired. There's our end. Perfect job, guys.